Welcome to another episode of the Twilight Zone After Hours. I am Steve.
I'm Kelly.
And you may recognize our special guest announcer, Brian. If you guys remember, go back and rewind. We met Brian at Fan Fusion. We were walking around. You had an awesome, it was Night Gallery shirt.
Yeah.
So we started chatting. He came to the panel in front of everyone with no preparation time. He retold the hunt in 3 minutes flawlessly, and you won a bunch of stuff. You won the prize.
Yeah, a bunch of posters, cool mug I drink out of every morning.
Nice.
There you go. Well done.
Yeah.
So when we met him before, we said we were going to do the whole panel, and we asked him if he had a favorite episode, and you said The Hunt, and you were ready to go within hours. So we are here outside of Drawn to Comics in Glendale, off of the corner of Glendale and 58th Avenue, and after we're done with The Hunt, we're going to go inside here and talk to owner Ken Brown, and then we're going to review the first two issues. The third issue just came out today. I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but we're going to go and do that.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of Twilight Zone reviews. A journey into a wondrous land of intoxication where a father, son, and guest drink and retell episodes of the Twilight Zone.
There is a fifth dimension.
Stay tuned because your next stop is the Twilight Zone After Hours.
The Twilight Zone.
So here we are. It's loud because it is bustling. Downtown Glendale is awesome.
It's hopping.
Before we go inside, we're going to do The Hunt. You ready to do it?
I think so.
All right.
Walk ready?
Yep. All right. Not quite yet. Dad, send it over to me Glendale style. I don't even know what Glendale style is, but I
I
liked
think we did it well.
All right. The Hunt. Season 3, episode 19, aired on January 26, 1962. Written by Earl Hammer Jr., directed by Harold D. Schuster. I have the IMDb score ready for you guys later, but I'm going to save that because it's a very highly rated episode with some incredibly cool trivia. All right, I got your 3-minute shot clock up. Are you ready to do this?
I think so.
3 minutes on the clock. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Go.
All right. It takes place in an old backcountry Ozark area of the U.S., maybe in the 20s. We have our characters, Old Man Hyder Simpson, his loyal hound dog, Rip, and his wife, Rachel. Over dinner, Hyder Simpson tells his wife that he's going to go out for a raccoon hunt after dinner with his dog, his trusty dog, Rip, and she doesn't think that's such a great idea because she's seen some bad omens recently, and she advises against it. He's like, "We'll be fine. We'll be back before midnight." They go out after dinner. They catch the scent of the coon right away, and Rip gets him up a tree. And raccoon outsmarts Rip, and he jumps across another tree and then down into some water. And Hyder's like, "Don't go after that raccoon in the water." Rip still goes into the water, and Hyder goes after the dog to save his best friend. Cut to the raccoon comes out of the water, and only the raccoon. The next morning, we have Hyder Simpson and his dog, and they're like, "We got to get home. We've been out all night. Rachel's going to give us trouble." So they get back to his area, his yard actually, and he sees two guys digging a hole. How much time I got left?
You got 2 minutes.
All right, digging a hole, and they're unresponsive to his advances. It's like, "What are you guys doing? You know, you guys are digging on my property," and then they're still unresponsive, and he sees they're bearing a dog, and he's like, "Oh, they're too heartbroken to respond." He's like, "It's all right." So he makes his way to his house, and he sees that his wife is in mourning. She's all in black, and he's got some neighbors over his house that are also in mourning, all in black. They're also unresponsive to him, and he's still yet to get the hint of what's going on.
I love this guy.
Yeah. And anyway, so after them not responding, he follows them out of there. They're going to go to the graveyard. He's still none the wiser what's going on. He tries to follow them, but there's a mysterious fence he cannot pass. So he follows the fence all the way down, eventually comes to a guard tower. In the guard tower, the guard there informs him that he's dead. And he finally puts two and two together, and he realizes that he's dead and what happened with the raccoon and the dog and in the creek. And so after that, he starts to take his information. He tries to get him to come in, but he won't let him take the dog. He's like, "Well, the dog's going where I'm going, so no dog, no me." So eventually, he's like, "What about the coon hunting? How do you do a coon hunt without a dog?" He's like, "We don't have coon hunts in here." He's like, "Well, I'm out of here." So he's like, "Well, you can walk down this road for eternity." He's like, "Well, we'll be fine. We'll figure it out." So they're walking down the road, and they stop for a rest. And an unassuming country man comes up to them, and he asks who they are, and he's like, "Are you guys ready to go to heaven?" He's like, "What are you talking about? That was back there." It's like, "No, you didn't get messed around with that, right?" He's like,
I get the chills at this part so badly.
"Well, my dog didn't want us to go in, and they wouldn't let my dog in." So I said, "Forget it, we're out of there." It's like, "Well, you know, a man will walk with both eyes open straight into hell, but even the devil can't fool a dog."
Oh,
and
so line.
So
Great
yeah,
quote.
so they go
Great
into heaven actually, and he's like, what about coon hunts? You guys have that? Yeah, tonight after the square dance, there's one. He's like, well, what about my wife, Rachel? It's funny he asked about the coon hunt before he asked about his
wife, right?
He's like, yeah, she'll be along soon, you know. What about the guy down the road? Don't worry, she won't get, she'll be able to get past him with no problem. So, yeah, that's about 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes, 10 seconds. If we were in the
Beautiful.
room, we'd be taking shots. We're going to go have dinner and drinks anyway. What an awesome retelling. Nicely
Well done. Well done.
Did you
That
see
was
it? I
good.
am so off on this today. It's ridiculous. All right, so there's some incredible trivia, but we've got to get into some of this because it's really awesome. Send it back to my closing narration real quick. Ooh, a spin. I don't like that one. Travelers to unknown regions would be well advised to take along the family dog. He could just save you from entering the wrong gate. At least it happened that way once in a mountainous area of the Twilight Zone. All right, so before we get into the trivia on this, what do you got for a rating?
Rating, I gave it a 10. I love this story. It included all of the SHOT acronym meanings.
It did, yep.
It had the twists at the end. It had a great story, very original. I've never seen anything that follows life and then the afterlife in a sequence like this did. So I thought it was fantastic from beginning to end. The acting was beautiful in this.
Yep.
It just left you feeling good. It was a great feel-good episode.
Yeah.
Nothing that I could say against it. It was just a perfect episode for me.
I assume it's a hardcore 10
Yeah,
for
it's
you?
my favorite episode. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite of that series,
Yeah.
but I'm a dog lover, so.
Yeah, I almost said you should bring your dog.
Yeah,
that
it
would have been
was-
super
it was
fun.
Sentimental to
Yeah.
that, yeah, so.
I gave this a 9. I adore this episode, and there are so many cool things about when it was filming and how they were doing it. So with the 3 minutes, we didn't have a lot of time. You know what part I like the most is the scene when he's at the bad gate and he's looking down and it's kind of smoky over the hill. And he's like, look, what did he say? He's like, oh, there's a party going on. He goes, I can't hear it.
Yeah, you'll hear on when you get once
You
get
hear
in the
when you
gate.
get a little bit closer, and when he looks back, the camera goes back, and it's that ominous smokiness in the
It's the
background.
brimstone.
It's the- yeah.
That you think about after this thing's over. All of the double entendres, all of the hidden meanings in this really come out when
Yeah.
you start thinking
In
about it.
22 minutes is amazing. They can tell the story from beginning to
We've
end.
been
It's
saying that
crazy.
for years.
The detail,
That's the beauty
character building,
of this,
it
yeah.
all does so quickly.
Yeah, and you know, you were saying how it's funny halfway through is when he realizes if you didn't have that first part, I don't think you would get the humbleness of how cute and sweet and innocent he is.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so naive. And then it leads into the ending where he almost went down the wrong path. But God, I love that twist. And you said it, I haven't seen yet a story quite like this. And the relationship between a guy and a dog and literally choosing the wrong gate, it's a
Right.
terrifying concept. And I just love that he nailed it. You did a good job.
It's a great
Nicely
episode.
done. All right, so there's really good trivia on this. All right, so here we go. Some trivia on this one. The cabin in this show is the same one from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, awesome. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
see? Did you? Because
So, yes, from the very first episode, because they only showed it once.
Yeah, we'll check.
And then they show it in the
Yeah.
the beginning of
The
each
opening, yeah.
show when he's
Yep.
shooting at some
Coon.
coon up
Yep.
from the
Yeah.
ground comes a bubbling crude, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very dad trivia. So we always have this thing, I don't know if you've watched a lot of our things, they always do really weird casting. They will cast 50-year-olds that are supposed to be 25. Here's the backwards one. Hyder says that he was just over 70 years old. However, Arthur Honeycutt was 51 at the time that they filmed it, and his wife was 50.
Okay, that's a hard
age.
hard-driven 51.
That's a rough 51.
I'll tell you.
That's when I read this trivia. I was like, wait a minute, am I looking at the right guy?
That one I
It's
would
crazy.
not have guessed. But
You want to know what bugs me? And I missed this bit of trivia. Did you get this right away? The dog's name is Rip.
yeah.
R.I.P. Rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Oh, I never put that together.
See, I didn't either until I'm writing this
It's one
down.
of my
And I'm like,
favorite
oh,
episodes
I
ever.
know.
I didn't
Isn't
realize that.
that's the beauty of this thing. It just keeps giving back.
Guest star Jeanette Nolan would later appear in The Calling, the episode of The Waltons, an iconic series created by the same person that made this episode. He went on and made The Waltons, which
that's
is a
awesome.
huge show,
Yeah.
and he brought a lot of the cast over there. Beth Orville Sherman and Titus Moed, who played the Miller brothers, get this, they both died of prostate cancer. Isn't that horrible? They both did. The guys digging the graves?
Yeah.
That's wild. Robert Falk, the gatekeeper, appeared in Rebel Without a Cause, and this is why this is important, starring James Dean, who played the gatekeeper in the earlier production of this story, because this story was an adaptation from The Hound of Heaven from the Katie Smith Hour in 1953. So before we go into Drawn to Comics to go read over this, we're going to give you the actual episode, 12 minutes, the first time, and it's amazing to see James Dean this young
Yeah.
in the thing that started this show. So many times, the Twilight Zone is original concepts. I love it when it's an adaptation from something else because when would it have been made?
These characters eventually became the Waltons.
Yeah,
he
that's
was,
exactly
he was
right.
writing them around the same time, so yeah.
I've never seen 1 second of the Waltons, but reading the trivia and seeing the pictures, I'm like, okay, I could kind of see this. This guy has a vibe, you know? And anyway, I thought it was fantastic.
So when you go to bed tonight, just say in the dark, goodbye, good night, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night,
is that
John
the,
Boy.
Is that the Waltons?
That's
With
where
all
this,
the lights in the
that's
house?
where this comes from.
Oh,
that
that's
famous
the
saying
Waltons?
at the end of every episode of the Waltons, the lights go out from the outside.
Yeah.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Jane, or whatever.
Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
All right, nicely done. Okay.
Well done. Great.
We're going to
great
go
episode.
inside to Drawn to Comics and talk to owner Ken Brown about issues 1 and 2 of the Twilight Zone comic series. And we're going to check out this amazing comic book shop, easily the best one I've ever seen. So here we go.
Let's do it.
And we are inside Drawn to Comics with our favorite people, Ken Brown, the owner, Chris,
Guys.
Brian, and Kelly, still here again. Dude, what's going on? Thanks for letting us come in.
It's great having you, dude. It's like a reunion. We
It
used to do
is.
a podcast called Nightcap Chat. Which
Yeah.
Every time you were on, Steve, oh my gosh, dude, my smile was like a Joker smile here.
Well, let's be honest. When
It
we
was
used to
so
do
much
that,
fun working with you.
you remember the funniest part when you used to do that is your daughter would kind of like watch in the background, and every time she would laugh, I'm like, okay, that worked, that joke worked, or whatever, because it's super funny.
Yes, dude.
So we're here at Drawn to Comics. Glenn, you've been here, Ken,
Yeah, it's
you've been here forever. So what's the story? Tell us a little
Well,
about
we
your
opened
story.
in downtown Glendale in 2005.
Okay.
And we opened up down the street, 5619. We're a 500 square foot store, and we just loved comics. And like our, customers are always the most important thing to us, and the customers embraced us.
What's the biggest day of the year?
A free comic book day,
Yeah.
in my opinion, but some people say San Diego Comic Con too.
Please, this trounces that.
Yes.
So what day is that again?
It's the first Saturday of May.
Okay.
Every comic book shop worldwide has the right to participate in it. And so if you're in Arizona, obviously come support us and all the other great comic shops. But if you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, go there. If you're in Melbourne, Australia, go there. If you're in, Paris, France, find a comic shop and they'll give you free comics. And that's the beauty about Free Comic Book Day. It's an open house for all comic books.
It's so cool. And you've been before, right?
Oh yeah, last time I was here was 10 years ago in Free Comic Book Day. You guys had band and it
Yes.
was awesome. This
We-
place is packed.
You got
really blew
banned.
it up.
No, they had a band.
I'm just
Yeah, it's always awesome to see what's going on. Like one thing that we like to do here is to like highlight local creators as well. And so we'll have like artists and writers set up across the street. We try to make it a neighborhood event. So
Yes.
sometimes we'll have things set up in the park for kids as well.
And like what you were saying, it's like a big community thing now.
Yes.
I like that this is
Also,
like an
I'm so
event,
excited.
dude. This is super cool that you guys put this much stuff into it. I think it's really cool.
I mean, it takes the community. I mean, we can't do this by ourselves. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
great
Oh, yeah.
to see like all the creators, like Chris was talking about, being open-minded. We offer them free space, so that obviously helps too because it's free comic book day. So we don't want it to be a convention. We want it to be an open house about comic books.
That's
and
absolutely
yeah,
fantastic.
cosplays do show up, and it feels like a little mini con. And it's just
It's-
something that's like, hey, let's celebrate comics at least one day a year.
It's so cool. Can you please tell us this story? Because we heard the story this weekend, and I'm like, you got to retell this.
Gosh, dude, yes, we have a Twilight Zone experience to help with the Highlight Zone tonight too.
Bring it.
it all together here.
Bring it on.
Okay, I'm up there helping of kids with wanting to see some toys upstairs, and there was this guy that kind of wandered in a little bit drunk. And unfortunately, sometimes we haven't had it much lately, but there used to be times where we're just super friendly. If you're not bothering anybody, we'll let you kind of sober out a little bit while you're
I love
here.
that.
And so he was sitting at a table up there, just kind of like watching over here, and the Joker was on the other side of him. And I was helping the customer up there, the kid looking at the toys with his dad, And next thing you know, he starts cussing at the Joker. And I'm going, dude, are you okay, sir? And he goes, this Joker keeps on staring at me, and he keeps on laughing at me, and he won't put down the knife. I told him, put down the knife, man. Put down the knife. I go, dude, it's a cardboard cutout, bro.
And he's completely serious.
Yes, he was. And I'm going, well, tell him to put down the knife then. I'm going, he's not real.
He's not
I don't know what to
listening to me.
tell you, man. It's like, oh, you sure he's not real? I go, dude, I promise you he's not real. So I go back to helping the customer again. He starts yelling again like, F you, Joker. I'm sick of it. Put down the freaking knife, dude. I'm gonna throw blows with you, bro. And I'm going, man, you gotta go, dude. It's like that. You're cussing now, and there's families around here. And he goes, who's gonna throw me out? And I'm going, dude, I'm asking you nicely. Don't make me call the police. He goes, you're not gonna call the police. So I pull out my phone and I go, 911. I go, yes, hello, officer. Yeah, there's a person that's been kind of belligerent. I don't know if he's been in the area here much, but he's just kind of was fine at first, but now he's going a little bit over the top, and I think we need to have some assistance. And he starts like, no way, you're not talking to him. I'm going, dude, yes. And they go like, the funny thing was the police on the other side, they're going, is he wearing like khaki pants and like a half button shirt? And I'm going,
wait. Did you actually call the police, or were
Yes,
you faking
I did.
it? I didn't get
call.
that. You did
And
call.
I'm going to
Yes.
guess they knew him.
They did. That's the point.
Oh, I thought that you were making that up before.
No,
No,
dude,
so you actually
another
called them.
business kicked him out already and called the police. And so he came in over here and tried to just more or less chill out.
Yeah.
But he just
Till he met the
can't
Joker.
keep his until he met the Joker. And then so he comes down the street or down the stairs, I'm sorry, and he starts tumbling. And like that, my wife runs up. She goes, "Are you okay, sir?" He goes, "Yeah, your husband up there just kicked me out of the store. He's called the police."
Because you're the bad guy here.
And she's going, "What the hell is going on?" and then I'm coming down the stair on the phone. It's like, yeah, he's walking out now, so he's heading this way. And she goes, "What just happened?" And I told her the story.
Man, I thought when you said this before, you were fake dialing,
No,
and I didn't
no.
realize that they actually knew him from the other
Yes,
place.
I thought that was the most funny part.
He
I'm
got
going,
kicked
"Oh
out of
my
the Brock
gosh."
place,
Yeah.
probably.
It's too bad you couldn't have taken the cutout, snuck around, and put him by the front door.
I know, dude. Yes, dude.
See, I just draw. If you're going to play on this dude, just get him
Yes.
going all the
and
way.
He was totally harmless. It was just, gosh, dude, we got to get you moving on, bro.
So we brought it up. Obviously, we're here for the Twilight Zone, and what we're here to do today is to kind of talk about the first two. And as we literally record today, the third issue came out today, and you have already read it.
I have. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lightly discuss these ones. There are two issues, and I only have the one copy here, but you're gonna see it on the screen. And we have all read them and kind of understand them. You are a pro. You've read them all, and you are too. Let's just go through real quick. What did you think about issue 1, The Blanks?
Okay. Well, I like the format of this. Black and white.
Yep.
Kelly and I were talking. There's not a lot of black and white mainstream comics.
I'm looking around. Are there any others
There
displayed
are a few.
that are black and white?
There are a few. I know, like Walking Dead was originally published in black and white. And
Right.
so
Okay.
That's like one of the big classics that showed that it can be done.
So I used to read comics quite a lot, but I haven't in probably a decade and a half. But I'll go to the Twilight Zone, so that's what brings me back to the comic book shop is the Twilight Zone. And IDW has done a couple of Twilight Zone series before, so this one is different. There's not an overall arcing arc. Each issue is like an episode. It's 22 pages long, which would be a 22-minute episode, or a script would be 22 minutes.
So what did you think about this one, though? Because out of the two, I kind of was smitten with this.
Yeah, I think everything that carries the Twilight Zone name has a huge legacy to live up to, and most times it doesn't, so people are let down. So I try to temper my expectations going into something new. And if you ever read the old Gold Key Twilight Zone comic books, they're not really good.
Yeah.
But they usually, and they were the 60s or 70s, and they had multiple stories, and they were like in the vein of the EC comics, Tales from the Crypt, multiple stories, and they would shoehorn stuff in. This is just one story.
So this very wealthy billionaire goes to this island because he's searching for that elixir, the Fountain of Youth, and he's invested in a cryo company that's developed an antidote for aging. So he goes there with the intent of using this.
It's almost like a Jurassic Park, by the way, with Hammond doing it, because it's its own island. You can only get there
It's
through
a
a
remote
helicopter,
island. No
and
one
it's
knows where it
privately
is.
funded to avoid government
Right.
stuff like that. That's kind of a Jurassic Park
Right.
for
Sounds like absolute
that is it.
It is, and then he realizes that they're not ready. They're saying it's going to take another decade of testing for human consumption of this. And he goes, no, I can't wait. And then he explains why he can't wait.
Yeah.
So that's the crux of the rest of the story.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, having it isolated means that, you know, they're not only cut off from the government and any kind of stipulations, but also anything that could potentially, you know, no one can get in, no one can get out without, you know, one escape route. And so, like, that definitely comes to a head in it as well.
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts.
So to shift over into the second episode, which is called A World of Your Wildest Dreams. And this one was, I think the template was very Twilight Zone. Astronauts.
Yeah, I like this one a little bit more. Basically starts with astronauts. One is awake. He's been awake out of cryosleep for a couple weeks. He wakes up the rest of the crew, and they have a scene where they're all around the table eating, almost like Alien. I just watched Alien a couple weeks ago, so it feels very Alien. And they're talking about what they're doing. They're scouting for areas for new colonies, and also signs of life, but they're also looking for minerals and things like that. But so it's almost like Alien. They have to stop if they come across any kind of wildlife. So they find a place that's just like Earth. The atmosphere is just like Earth. They don't even need their spacesuits, and they go down there and they come across all these creatures. And a whole bunch of stuff starts to happen. I don't want to spoil it. Sort of the crux of it, but it's a weird story. But it's written, drawn, and lettered by the same person.
The second half was definitely almost entirely monologue. It was the aliens just talking.
Yep.
And one thing I love about Twilight Zone is they kind of trust you to understand what's going on.
Right.
You just kind of blew my mind. That's a really good point.
Exactly, yeah.
And like I said, the third issue, want to show it? You got it right here. This is wild. Just came out today.
Nice.
I have the digital. I haven't gotten a chance to reading it through. I started the first couple pages, and you've already done it, and you've read it too?
Yes, it's pretty.
Why don't you guys give a quick, do your thing and tell us, because we're all new. But without spoilers, no spoilers. He's going to be reading it like literally the second he gets home.
For sure. So, it's called The Relic. It's by a creator named James Stocco. Once again, he did all the art and writing himself.
Wow.
Always does an awesome job, in my opinion. And this one was about two separate cultures, two like warring clans almost. The way that the outfits looked, it was almost like Huns versus Knights.
Yeah,
It
a little
felt
300 in a weird way.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the two cultures were in the same time period. It clashed a little, but like it helped with the story.
Yes, I love the guy that's the knight here wearing an American flag. So it looks like that.
Yeah.
It took
Yeah, I
like
saw that
when
on
I
the-
I'll put it on the screen right now so you guys can see it again, but it looks really cool. I didn't even really notice
it almost
that.
like feels like that's their Captain America of that tribe.
Yeah.
In a weird way of saying it, because he
Yeah.
came across like, I'm the great warrior to protect.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I won't say too much. You know what I mean? It's like there's something that happens to him in the story, and unfortunately, there's a winner and a loser. And the loser saying, wait, there's more to this than you can even imagine. But it's hilarious because there's the battle cries in there. There's a little bit of the spoil of the story because it cracks me up. They keep on using
It's very almost
advertising
almost
tropes.
anachronistic.
Yes,
you know?
dude. It's like that, Pepsi free. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It doesn't say Pepsi free, but you'll understand when you read it.
Pepsi free. There's regular and sugar free with 1 calorie. How about that?
The taste is positively Pepsi and it's caffeine free. Positively Pepsi free. Pepsi free.
When the first one came out, I reached out to you and you were like, dude, they're gone
Yeah,
real quick.
I felt bad.
So,
Going, dude,
no, that's
Steve
cool.
loves Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
I went to, is this an indicator of success? I went to go find it and Amazon had them for $29.
Holy sheeves, that's a good success trait. It's this $5 cover price, isn't it?
Yeah.
This was
Yes.
$22.
That's another thing that's
So,
really
I mean, is that a good
fascinating
indicator
right
that it's doing well as if it's
Yes.
jacked on Amazon? Because I also
Yeah,
tried to
it's the
find your
FOMO.
variant copy. Literally, it was $95. I'm like,
That's
Really?
I just, yeah, that's
There's
what I
two-
tried to
there's
copy.
two variants.
I know
Yeah.
that there are, and then there's 3 on the other one, and I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I just want to
shows-
try to collect them to frame them, but I couldn't swing it. I was like, damn, all right, I'll have to.
That says the fan base is interested, and the
Yeah.
fan base is like, "Oh, they missed the boat, and now they got the FOMO kicking in." And
Yep,
it's- do you
I
know
like
what
that.
mean?
Do you think
fear
the
of
marathon
missing out.
helps? The end of the year?
Yeah.
I would, yes, definitely do, because it's fresh. You know, anytime you're putting Twilight Zone out to new audiences, and you know, it came out in the 1950s, and so new audiences are being born every 15 years, 20 years. Honor having
What's your favorite episode? Do you have a favorite Twilight Zone episode?
You know, it's probably not a fan favorite, but
That's even better.
I'm trying to recall the name of it, but it's an old man and his dog. Like,
Oh my God. Okay.
I
You'll
might be
have to-
wrong. Okay.
No, you are probably right.
Watch this episode.
Watch this episode in a
Really?
couple of
We
weeks.
watched this episode. We just retold
Oh my gosh.
that episode outside of your wall.
It's so good.
Nice.
I love that episode.
It is called The Hunt.
The Hunt. Okay.
Season 3, episode 19.
Ken, do you know which episode we're talking about?
I have not seen it. I need
Good,
to see
because
this,
when
dude.
you
Yeah.
watch
I can't
this,
believe
it
you
is
just
going
said
to
this.
it is going to play to you
Okay.
as strongly as it did, if not more so, to the rest of us.
Okay, so I need to sit down and watch
It's a-
this, dude.
You definitely
So,
do.
Refresh me. Where can I watch Twilight Zone again? 'Cause
Paramount.
I missed
Paramount
a lot
Plus.
of it as a kid because whatever reason, dude. I'm gonna. This is gonna be torturous to say to people that, do you know what I mean? Appreciate the Twilight Zone. I had a really hard time with things that weren't filmed in color.
I could totally see that. A lot of people say
And-
that, and that's why a lot of
and
people won't watch it today. They're like, "Oh, it's black and white. I don't want to watch it."
We have
Now
the
I- but I
solution.
gotta find it
Ken,
and
here it
watch
is.
Yes.
Watch the highlight zone after hours. It's in color.
Yes, absolutely.
It
dude.
gets you
Yes.
caught up on every episode that was ever produced.
Nice.
And you'll have
Absolutely.
some laughs during it. So not to promote.
No, but that's what I need.
This.
Something like where it's gonna like, hey, dude, help me engage in this more than I have not been in the past.
Yeah, understand completely.
Well, that's the way it goes.
Well, everybody, Ken, again, thank you so much, man. I
it's a
appreciate
pleasure.
it, Chris. Thank
Yes.
you so
No,
much,
it's our
dude. This was a
pleasure,
lot
man.
of
Thank
fun.
you very much.
Dude, thank you
Chris,
for being here.
what
I
about
love
it, man?
this. This is a
Thank you
good
very
time.
much.
Hey,
Appreciate
can
you.
you do the
Yes.
thing that you always used to do? Where's this? I always say, do your thing. This is a Ken thing. I like it. Where's this located again?
We're located in downtown Glendale, Steve, at the corner of 58th Avenue in Glendale.
Yep.
You can catch us at drawnacomics.com or come in person and come in and say hi. We will be glad to see you, and hopefully you'll be glad to see us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Check them out, and make sure you guys go do anything you can to go to Free Comic Book Day, wherever the hell you are. It's an amazing thing, and they put on a really great show.
Cool, dude.
You guys
Did
are
I do it the way you
fantastic.
remembered, or am I out of practice?
You freaking nailed it. I love it, dude.
Thank you very much.
We will
Steve.
see you
Good
next time asking you the question, what dimension are we in again? We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
You know, folks, food prices being what they are these days, it's extra important that we give our families the healthiest foods. And that's why Minute Maid Fresh Frozen Orange Juice is an absolute must on your shopping list. Our dramatic presentation this afternoon brings together a talented actor and a most unusual and touching script. Our star is best known on the stage perhaps for his Shakespearean roles, but to millions of we moviegoers, he's famous as a distinguished actor of great ability and versatility. I'm referring, of course, to Mr. John Carradine, and you'll see him as Hyder Simpson in The Hound of Heaven by Earl Hamner. Featured with Mr. Carradine are two excellent actors, Mr. Edgar Staley and Jimmy Dean. Here now is The Hound of Heaven.
Come on, Rick. Best we be heading home. We must have chased that possum over 2-3 counties. Never did see this place before. Hello! Anybody home in there?
Howdy, neighbor.
Howdy.
I wasn't expecting nobody this early.
Don't want to put you no trouble, neighbor. I got lost, I reckon. Me and Rip there was out tracking down Possum half the night. I ain't quite sure I knows how to get back to where I come from.
That's what everybody say at first.
I can't figure out what happened to Rip. He never got as lost a foe. Something must have thrown him off the scent.
Well, what's your name?
Simpson. Ida Simpson. I come from that bunch of Simpsons over there in Wales Valley. I bumped Rip. We must have traveled a far piece. I don't never recollect coming so far I can't find the top of Wales Mountain.
How old are you, neighbor Simpson?
Oh, what are I? I've been walking the earth something like 57 years.
57. Arrived at the gate at 5:46 a.m. 57.
What you write in that book?
Only one thing more I need to know. That's how'd you die?
I ain't sure I heard you right, friend.
I said, how'd you die?
Who claims I'm dead?
Ain't no argument about that. You wouldn't be here if you wasn't dead.
Well, here, that's solid flesh and bone, you feel.
Think back, neighbor. What was you doing last night?
Well, I remember exactly. Me and Rip here, we left the house long about 9 o'clock. Rip, he picked up a trail right away. That old possum was headed right down by the river. It was pitched out by then. We got down by the river and then... Oh.
Drowned.
Wait, what's the other side of that fence, anyhow?
Well, that pasture right up there, they call that the Elysian Fields. You follow that a piece and you come to the Golden Street, and that take you right to the Celestial Palace, where the big boss got his headquarters.
Oh, I take it then your name's Peter.
Well, I keep the gate, that's a fact.
I'm proud to make you acquaintance.
Just as proud to have you here. Well, don't stand out there in the cold work. Come on in and reap your heavenly reward. Hey, hold on now, neighbor Simpson. You can't bring that dog in there.
Yeah. Ain't no fees on that dog?
That don't make no never mind.
Well, how come?
Well, this here's folks' heaven. Now, there's a place where we can put him up the road. A piece you leave him tied here, and I'll walk him up there later on. Well, how about it, neighbor Simpson?
Thank you just the same, but I reckon I better not go in there.
What you got against the place?
Any place too highfalutin for Rip is too fancy for me. How thoroughbred is the dog got to be before you let him in there?
They don't allow no dogs in there at all.
What kind of a place you keeping you don't allow no dog?
I tell you, there's a place for him right up the road there.
What kind of heaven would that be? Nothing but dogs in it. Dog's got to have a man around to love, just like a man's got to have a dog. If he wants to be anyways happy.
You sure would be making a mistake if you don't go on in. Don't you want to see your family?
A rich old family I got. I raised him up for a little old milk puppy. I call him Rip because he's such a rip snorter.
He's like a right smart dog.
He's a master hand at tracking possum. You know how smart a possum critter is. I've seen old Mr. Possum pull every trick he knows on Rip. Never seen one yet outsmart him.
Neighbor Simpson, let me make you a little proposition. You go on in the gate and leave him tied up out here. A little later on, I'll sneak him in through a hole in the fence. It'd be breaking a rule, but I'll do it.
Friend, if I go in that front gate, Rip goes in that front gate likewise. Well, he got feelings like a human man. I wouldn't want him feeling he wasn't welcome.
Well, what do you say? You leave him out here with me and you go on in and take a look around and see how you like the looks of the place.
Friend, I'm going to ask you a practical question. How do they expect me to do any possum hunting without Rip?
Man, they don't hunt possum and they're allowed.
Huh? Well, that settles it. Come on, Rip. We're going someplace else.
Well, you can't go no place else.
Well, who's going to stop me?
Well, there ain't no place else to go.
I'm just going to set foot on that road and keep on going.
That road don't lead nowhere. It's just, that's eternity road. It just keeps on going, don't never stop.
Don't make no never mind.
Now, Mr. Simpson, this is a right serious step you're taking. If I was you, I'd sit down here and think it over. You got all eternity to make up your mind.
Good day to you.
Now, listen, Mr. Simpson, look. I leave the gate unlocked. Only don't you try to sneak that dog in here.
Jan, it might be a mile long spell without any possum hunting. Might be Rick. Don't you go getting off your feet or nothing about this. Maybe if I could get in there and talk to the judge or something, I might be able to get you in. So don't you trouble your head about it now one little bit. What kind of she-bang you reckon they're running in there? Must be city folks mostly. They's about the only people that outlaw possum hunting. Now don't you take it too much to heart, Rip. Of course, I would like to go down that golden street. There's a lot of people I hoped I'd see again. But I ain't going to leave you. No, sir, they can just sit in there tooting on their harps or whatever they does for relaxation. But you and me are going to stay together just like we did when we was traveling down below.
Got it?
I'm looking for a Mr. Hyder Simpson and a hound dog named Rhea.
Oh, that's us, son.
I figured it was. Well, if you and Rip's all set, we might as well be moseying along.
Mosey where?
Heaven, Mr. Simpson.
Now, like I was telling that fella, I ain't going to set foot in heaven without Rip.
Oh, you didn't get messed up with nobody in there, did you?
That fella there behind the gate. He wouldn't let Rip in, so I didn't go in. Well, that'd be just a place of hell without Rip.
You ain't far from wrong, Mr. Simpson. That is hell. Heaven's on down the road there, P.
Well, how come that fella lied to me like that?
I don't never give up. Always trying to get our folk in there right at the last minute.
How come he wanted to keep Rip out?
See, he was afeard that Rip would have warned you. And he would have, too, once he got a whiff of that brimstone. You see, Mr. Simpson, a man, he walked right into hell with both eyes open. But not even a devil can fool a dog.
Oh.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where is this place and when? The answer is, it doesn't make any difference.
Can you say eggs?
Steve is.